for a second. Hey everyone, how are you getting on? Thanks for bearing with us. We're just a little bit late just now, but we are in here. You can see we're with Matt Frevola, and I'm joined with Ash from ATF. My name is Sai. How are you doing? Ash, tell me about yourself. How are you getting on? You well?
Yes, I'm fantastic, but don't worry about me. How are you, Matt?
Let's talk about it. How are things, bro?
I'm doing good, bro. You know, just hungry, ready to get into fight week and handle business.
That's it. Handle business, you
I
will.
like that. Business. Let's get a good introduction here. So, Matt Frevola, for those of you guys who don't know, now you do. He's 9 wins and 3 losses in the UFC. UFC record of 3-1, draw as well in the UFC. But he trains out of Serra Longo fight team. He's Long Island, New York, but he's fighting some other notable wins he's had in the past. Is obviously against Ottman Azaitar at UFC 281.
Yes.
So that's what's going to be coming up next. Now, we say it's another win because we are quite confident in his ability. So we're looking forward to seeing what he's going to be doing. So if you guys don't know yet as to what Matt Frevola can do, stay tuned because we're going to be talking a bit more about his fighting style, a bit more about his training camp, and also what's going to be coming up in terms of challenges and what to expect for that next fight at 281, which is going to be a hell of a card. Now, did you guys watch 280 recently, UFC 280? Both. I mean, I know you did, Ash, but what about you, Matt Frevola? You catch up with that card? How was your thoughts on that?
Oh yeah, man. My boy Aljamain says the bantamweight goat, man. I'm
Look at that
for Aljamain. I think Aljo's gonna like dominate that division for a long time now. He's so good, and he's the man, and have him as a teammate, and you know he coaches a lot too, man. To have him around and in the gym is awesome.
Yeah, but I bet that's a massive feather in your cap to have someone like that in your camp, and obviously going on to, as you said there, saying it is the bantamweight go. I can totally like. It's just his style. It's just too much for any of the other bantamweights, if you know what I mean. And obviously, we've said in the past that wrestling is such a key aspect in MMA now, and he's proven that.
Yeah, yo, he dominates with his wrestling.
Yeah.
And his jiu-jitsu too, you know, he's not just like a lay and pray kind of guy.
That's it. Always advancing.
Yeah, he's gonna take you down. He's gonna pass your guard. He's gonna take your back, and he's gonna choke you.
Yeah,
and that's he's a grappler at heart, and he knows what he is too. You know, like you see a lot of these grapplers that come in and they like fall in love with their hands, or they listen to like the audience and stuff. They like just want to go in there and bang. But Aljamain knows what he's good at, and he's going there and he's gonna do what he does until somebody can stop it.
Yeah, that's it,
man. Absolutely,
100% agree.
End of the day, absolute dog and impressive as well. He did it fantastically. He done that win like an absolute pro, and I think his last fight again against. I mean, he had a lot of people to prove. He had a lot of things to prove, didn't he? And I think he proved in his last fight against Yan as well when he fought him. But to be honest with you, what really set it in stone was his performance against at 280. Of course, against TJ Dillashaw. That set it in stone, and I was impressed by that. To be fair, as well. But
yeah, man.
A lot of people said that was the fight of the fight card of the year. I mean, people were really excited about it. They thought it was going to be the absolute one. But of course, what's coming up is 281. What sort of things should we be looking out for as fight fans in 281? It's yet to come.
The steamroller.
There we go. What's your opinions on it?
Yeah, I mean this card is stacked too. You know, it's Matt Garden. You know, the whole card top to bottom is pretty awesome. I'm pretty sure like as of now I'm like the third fight of the night. So you gotta tune in early, and you're gonna see fireworks from the beginning to the end. I think.
Yeah, to be honest with you, we've watched every single main card this year, and one thing we do tend to notice as well is even when we do tune in for those prelims, especially with the pay-per-views, we tend to catch the prelims. There's some big names in the prelims, like they're fire.
Yeah.
You get knockouts. You get knockouts on prelims often. Even sometimes more than the higher competition that you got fighting at the main card.
Yeah, man. I mean, in the UFC, everyone in the UFC is good.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's a skilled a skilled fighter, who's fought, their way through the amateurs, fought their way to like, high level pros, and then you get to the UFC. It's like that's why a lot of these guys who say, "Oh, he fights nobody in the UFC," everyone he fought in the UFC sucked. It's like you don't like that guy was a champion for like LFA. That guy
Yeah.
was suck. Uh,
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Right, this is it. This is it. All right, well, let's get into some main questions because we're going to have some questions coming through. So a bit of the outline for those of you guys who are new to this show is we tend to have a few questions where we're going to really delve into the personality, the man who is Matt Frevola, so our fighter interviewee. And then we're going to get some fan questions shortly after that. And then we might even get to a bit of a game a bit later as well, just something a little bit fun if we have time for it. So it's all dependent. But let's get into some of the main things here to talk about. Like, we haven't seen you compete since January, and that was UFC 270, Matt. So it's been a while. So here you are 9 months now later on, about to take a walk into the fifth pay-per-view event of the year. How did the preparation go, and where is your head at with that sort of 9 days, with that sort of short duration we've got coming up, leading up to it?
Camp's been great. I've been I haven't fought since January, but I've been training all year. I've had a lot of teammates fighting on Contender Series. We had a lot of guys, fighting on the regional scene. So I really never stopped training.
Yeah.
And I'm ready to go. Like it's at the point now. I had my last sparring session yesterday. So now I'm just kind of just getting ready for fight week. Once I'm hitting pads with Longo tomorrow. I'm going to jiu-jitsu at Matt Serra's tomorrow. I'm just kind of going, just training now. No more hard sparring. I'm just going to be doing jiu-jitsu and hitting pads and drilling and sweating and getting ready for the weight cut. And I'm excited to do it. My body feels good. My weight's on point. I get to go to the city on Tuesday, and I'm ready to do it, man. Fucking.
Yeah, love that. You obviously, as we touched on it just a second ago, you got such a great camp behind you, and as I said, having that camp leading into this fight again, it must give you a bit of a boost.
Yeah, man. Just like we said, just watching Aljamain go out do what he did, and now he's back helping out everyone.
Love that.
We got back. Marab's helping everyone.
You spent time in the training camp with Aljamain, didn't you?
Yeah, a little bit. Aljo was out in Vegas for a while, but he finished his camp in New York. And he's always around, and I'm always trying to get out to Vegas, to see Aljo and Marab and train out there as well. So yeah, it's all good.
Love that.
Nice. All right. So, if you had to make like a prediction, how the fight goes down, what would it be? How would you sort of see your hand getting raised at the end of those 3 crucial rounds, if it even sees 3 crucial rounds, of course. But what's your thoughts? Let's get a prediction from you.
Yeah, I'm at this stage in camp where that's all I do is think about how every way the fight could go, and me, facing adversity, coming back from adversity, me going out there and landing my shots, finding my flow state, just really setting them up and taking them down, beating them up on the ground, maybe getting a submission, maybe catching the feet, watching them drop and finishing them with some ground and pound, or we get, who knows, we get a clean, head kick knockout. Who knows? I see it. But I see it every time I see it being a finish, and that's why I always go out there to fight, to finish fights.
Yeah.
And I know this guy's he's a first round fighter. He comes out, throwing bombs with some heavy hands. So I'm aware. I respect what he brings, and I'm aware of what he wants to do. So I'd like to finish him late. I'd like to get some good octagon time. Put on put on a good like array of mixed martial arts with the striking, with the wrestling, with the jiu-jitsu, and then we finish them. We break them. We finish them.
Yeah,
I love that.
Just to touch on what you said there about breaking him, I was just about to mention. Obviously, you've got a great gas tank yourself, so and you took the words out of my mouth because I was going to mention it as well. Predominantly, this guy is a first-round fighter, so you've got a great gas tank. You put your foot down, full blast on that accelerator. Round 1, go at him, and obviously, if it sees round 2, he could be laboured and things like that, and I reckon you'll get him out there round 2. But that's my prediction anyway.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah, no, just lovely how you said it. Just obviously doing a little bit of tape on him. Just a first round fight, like you said, and obviously you come out the guns blazing. I can just only see him at Frevola victory.
Yeah.
Yeah, pushing the pace and breaking him.
That's it.
He hasn't fought in like 2 years.
Yeah.
So
he had the incident about smuggling, didn't he? Was that him?
That was him.
Yeah, I thought it was. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see. I'm hoping he makes sure he shows up and he's ready to go because I'm gonna be ready to go. That's all you could hope for is a worthy opponent who shows up on weight, ready to fight. So that's what I'm hoping for.
There we go. Did you plan any mind games, or is it going to be just a sort of a skill set perfection? Because sometimes it comes in tandem, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, I'm focusing on what I need to do. I'm a professional. I'm showing up ready to fight on weight. And that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm hoping he does the same this time because he didn't last.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. Well, while we're talking about matchups and fights, right? You desperately try to get paired up with Paddy the Baddy, didn't you? He always says that he'll fight whoever the UFC gives him. So, were you ever sort of like close to receiving a fight with Paddy? Did that ever sort of come near to fruition, or was it always a bit of a I'll take him, and it just it wasn't sort of realistic? I mean, what was did the UFC sort of like contact you, or did you make any contact with them?
No, I they had that London card was coming. I was training for that London card.
You were ready. I
was like, yeah, it makes sense. Like I should get this fight. I'm training. I'm ready. Like I was talking. I had a manager at the time, and I was like talking to him like I'm ready to go. What are they saying? What are they saying? And he just kind of says, oh, nothing. And then I just wake up one day and see that he was matched with Jordan Levitt, and then I hit him. I'm like, what the fuck? How did he get matched with Jordan Levitt?
Yeah.
And then I see Jordan Levitt is also represented by that same manager.
Right.
So I get so pissed, and then I ended up firing that manager, got a new management, and at least we got on MSG.
That's it, MSG.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So that order of events really pissed you off.
Yeah. Well, I didn't get the Paddy fight in London, and then UFC came to Long Island. I didn't get the Long Island fight. Like I didn't get a fight in my hometown. I was pissed about that. And then before that, I didn't get a bonus in my last fight. I break a record.
Just makes sense.
For 5 knocks in a round, and that was 3 strikes for my manager. 3 strikes and he was out. So had to get a new manager, and I'm happy now. We got a new. We got on the MSG card. I got a opponent I want to fight. So I'm happy.
Yeah.
Love that.
No, there you go. And what's it like for you fighters, like when it comes to managers? Because a lot of people don't really understand the dynamic of it. It's really if you're in the know, if you're behind the curtain, if you're there. But are there like so many managers out there you can have your pick of whoever's necessary, or is it quite sort of slim pickings and you got to be very particular about who you take as your manager? And for example, if they represent someone else who's a big name, is that a good idea, or is that sort of like dilute the amount of attention you get from them?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
It's a wild world.
That's it. I was going to say, that's a good question. Yeah, because obviously you don't know the ins and outs.
No, we don't.
Ins and outs of what goes on. Obviously, you got the likes. Touching on that point, you got the likes of Dominic Cruz. He doesn't have a manager, does he? He just deals with everything himself.
He does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sean O'Malley doesn't have a manager either. You know,
does he not? Okay.
Really?
But
Really?
I think you got to get to that level. You got to get to that level. I'm not there yet. So.
You will be.
But yeah, I'm happy, man. I'm training. I'm having a good time, and I'm ready to fight. And I'm fighting next weekend. You know, I can't wait, bro. Yeah. Let's do this.
Let's do it. All right, it's about that time we need to talk about something, right?
Yeah, I did mention this before, but go on. I mentioned it before, but I'll let you carry on and tell him.
Okay. So I'm not sure if you saw the watch long we had. So we had a watch long that, and for loads of guys that might not have seen it yet, but check it out. Check it out on the channel. It was for UFC 280. We ran for the full 6 hours, and we had some fighters chime on in. One of those, of course, being Vince Morales. We had Frankie Edgar chime in. We had Sadiq Youssef as well chime on in, and they all sort of gave their watch long the fights with us. They're on live for the full, for some of the 6 hours that we had. And one of the things that really emerged in that conversation with Vince Morales, we were talking about Ricky Simone. So that's his cousin, of course, and talking about sort of fighting against Merab, potentially setting that fight up against Merab. Now, we wasn't too sure if it was actually going to happen, but we heard from a very credible source that it was something that they're looking to set up. Did you have any take on it? Like, is it something that you've heard of that should be happening behind the scenes? Because stylistically, we thought that'd be a great fight. That should happen. And a lot of people, when we put on Twitter, had wanted to see that fight happen too. So should that fight happen is one question. And the second question is, has it been talked about already? Or are you aware of it sort of happening or bubbling behind the scenes? What's your take on it?
No, I never heard anything about that. But Merab doesn't care. He'll fight anybody. But,
as long as it's not us. All right? As long as it's not us.
Yeah. I mean, this is a rematch, though, isn't it? So they fought before, but this is like running that fight back. Is the idea of it?
But if they did,
that was a crazy fight. Merab was dude's ass until that like crazy guillotine thing.
In that third, he was riding a bike in that third round. Merab was crazy, man.
Yeah,
that was the most ending of a long time. But I like Ricky too. But Merab, right now Merab's like number 2.
Yes, I mean he's all the way up there as well. That's why we were so shocked.
I think it's gotta be Aljo and Sugar Sean, and I want Merab to beat up Chito Vera.
Oh, that'd be a great fight. Oh, stop it.
Oh,
that's a great fight. Oh,
man,
that is actually a really good fight. Yeah.
That narrative between Sugar Sean and Chito Vera, it's bubbling, isn't it? It's sort of cooking. It's cooking.
Yeah, I want Aljo to get that payday. So I want Aljo to fight on.
It's a horrible matchup.
Yeah, he's getting those pay-per-view points. So I think the biggest fight for Aljo is Sugar Sean, and who doesn't? That'd be awesome. And then that leaves Merab and Chito.
Chito's doing the most. Yeah. He's doing all right. He's got a great streak. He's done that impressively against Dominic as well recently. So
yeah, it's true. Obviously, it's a bad matchup for Sugar Sean though to fight Aljo. Aljo will just take him into some deep waters, as we said earlier.
Yeah, that's why 100%. I see Aljo been running that division for a while now.
Yeah. I mean, who do you reckon his biggest challenge would be? Up and coming, like in let's say top 5 or whoever's on the streak so far in the division, potentially.
I think his biggest challenge would probably be Cejudo.
Yeah,
just because of the rep.
Yeah, that's true.
I see Aljamain just strangling him. Like Cejudo's got the wrestling, but you wrestle with Aljo, you're in Aljo's world, and Aljo's got more than.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's not wrong. Wow. You're not wrong about that. It could be quite troubling. How soon do you reckon that would happen, or could happen?
Well, you've seen what Aljo's been saying.
Yeah, he said next year, didn't he?
Yeah, sometime.
Yeah, he fought 2 times this year, which is average for most guys. So I think Aljo probably will want to fight. He's saying like June now, but and he might get the competitive fire, to compete sooner.
Yeah.
But I think he's probably enjoy, coaches for the rest of the year, gets into camp in the new year, January, February, March. I could see him fighting like April, May, June,
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be nice to see him back in there.
Okay, no, that'd be quite cool.
Yeah,
That'd be quite cool. So you don't think that Merab or Ricky Simone would be matched up anytime soon? They won't run that one back. You don't think? Because Ricky Simone did tweet like a couple of weeks after they fought, like, how do you guys feel about rematch? And a lot of people are would be excited to see it. Is that still?
Yeah, maybe. What's Ricky Simone ranked now?
Oh, he's just stepped onto the rankings, hasn't he?
He's
11th
in the ranking. He's 11th or 12th. He's 11th or no, he's 12 because Frankie's 11. Yeah, he's 12.
Of course, he's trying. He wants to get up.
He wants the league, doesn't he?
Number 3 or number 2, whatever Rob is. So I don't blame him for wanting that fight back. But I mean, even if you go rewatch that fight, I haven't watched it happen though, but Merab won that fight. Like,
yeah, it was a great fight.
It was a good fight.
Merab winning all those rounds, and then there was that guillotine at the end. So crazy. Merab. So the round ends. The third round ends. Merab did not tap.
Yeah.
And then the ref just says Merab was out, and it was a submission at 5 minutes in the third round. Doesn't even make sense. Like,
yeah, it was a bit of a funny one.
Yeah, it was a crazy ending.
Yeah.
But who knows? Hopefully, if Ricky doesn't get that fight, hopefully he fights somebody up the ranks and keeps climbing.
Yeah.
I like Ricky.
We could see that someday.
Yeah, maybe.
We put a post out saying that Merab versus Simone was in the works because we heard it from quite a credible source in Vince Morales, because some people were talking about it and it's something they wanted to see. But Merab, you're right. He's doing the most. Merab is up there, and Ricky Simone is steadily climbing, and he's such a good prospect as well, seeing what he's done in his latest victims. But Merab replied saying to that post that it was all bullshit and he would kick whoever wrote it. So it's one of those situations. But ultimately, I think it's something that does excite an audience. However, if you look at where they are in the ranks, is maybe quite similar to a sort of Vera versus O'Malley. As it's a rematch is probably something that people are talking about, but it's just a little bit too far to happen yet. But there's no reason why it shouldn't happen sometime soon, given they continue on their current trajectory.
Yeah.
Let's get into some of those fan questions. So this is the part of the show where we get to get some direct questions from the audience who just been dying to speak to you. And Ash said at the very front end of this that people have just been rushing in from the very beginning. So that's quite exciting. I'll find some chats here. I don't know if you can pick any out, Ash, but historically you got an Angus Jenkins question, which we always get. We could start with it, to be fair.
Start from the top if you got it from the top, mate.
Okay, let's have a look from the top. So, some questions up there. We got what happened last year. Okay, so shall we go with who up there? Shall we go with MMA podcast?
Yeah, go with the GIS MMA podcast. Mate,
the GIS MMA podcast. So, Matt, you ready? We've got some questions from the audience.
Yeah, let's go.
So, the GIS MMA podcast, he's chimed in and he says, do you feel that you've got the advantage, especially since you've had 2 training camps for this particular opponent? What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, definitely. I did 2 training camps for this guy. That's definitely an advantage. I was supposed to fight him. January of 2021, and I remember I have that whole breakdown still. Like I dug up the breakdown that I had, and he hasn't fought since then, or even he hasn't fought in 2 years.
No, you fought 3 times since his last fight.
Yeah. It's definitely an advantage having to do two full camps for the same guy. And then even, regardless, he's a righty boxer. He
Mm.
doesn't throw many kicks. He throws a couple kicks, a couple low kicks, a couple front kicks, but he's just got heavy hands and wants to throw heavy
Yeah.
punches. He doesn't shoot too much. So
Yeah.
it's not like it's nothing I haven't seen before.
Yeah. Styles makes fights. So
You got this one.
Yeah.
you got.
Yeah. I like the matchup.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's good. Good question. Good question.
All right, decent. Yeah, thanks, the Guess MMA for sending that on in. Really appreciate the questions. Strong, solid. Next one is from James Frevola. Does he sound familiar to you? All right. So, Jane Frevola wants to ask: any cards, locations in the future you'd like to fight on? What really tickles your pickle,
Ooh.
Matt? Tell me.
We'll see. They announced that Australia card in February.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh.
I've always gone under.
You been? Been before?
No, never been. Never been. I either Australia in February or London in March. That's those two.
Hey.
I'm getting the fight at home for this one at Madison Square Garden. For the next one, I'd love to travel. So that would be cool.
Well, if it's London, we're here.
Make a vacation out of it. Like either Australia or London. I'll bring the whole family out. I go beat someone's ass, and then we stay for
Mate.
We turn into a vacation. On the UFC dime.
We'll have a party.
Can't beat that.
We'll have a party.
Yeah.
We'll have a party. There and then. Wow. And knock it out in spectacular fashion. So much so, you get a 50K bonus. Bigger party.
Mm.
That sounds good to me.
Better wait, just hop in the chat. That's it.
Yes, sir.
So, who is James C? Brother?
Yeah, brother.
All right, so next up, got a question got the Guess MMA podcast.
Yeah, jumping in again.
How personal is this fight for you, Matt? Also, are you bringing any potatoes with you on fight night?
That's a great question.
So he's quite close to you, clearly. He knows.
It's not really not personal. It's a fight. It's a fight. I'm prepared to fight. This guy, and he's preparing to fight me. We're gonna go in there and throw down. I'm just hopefully he just shows up ready on and makes weight. Doesn't pull any shit in the cage.
Yeah.
Watching his films. I know he likes to grab the cage. He likes to do some groin shots. Hopefully he doesn't try to fight dirty in there.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't do that, we'll shake hands afterwards and it'll be all good.
Yeah.
And potatoes wise, I think this is the first fight that he's off the potatoes.
Yeah.
So you see a lot of his old fights with his knockouts. He was probably on the potatoes then. So.
Yeah, that's true.
Fair enough. Yeah. All right, cool. Well, look, fair enough. And we've got another question in. Ready? So this is from
Classic.
Angus Jenkins. It's a classic one. Like, this comes in all the time. But Angus wants to know, hi, Matt. Just wondering if you'd rather fight one Ngannou-sized duck or 50 duck-sized Ngannous. Cheers. Classic Angus question. But he loves to know. What's your answer to that one, Angus? Matt?
Dude, one duck-sized Ngannou.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like I could get on that back and strangle one duck-sized Ngannou.
Oh, but
pretty like long necks. Like I could ride that duck and then just strangle it. but Ngannou size or duck-sized Ngannous, I could hunting them left and right.
50, bear in mind, 50 of them.
Yeah, 50 of them. I think it depends. If I'm in fight shape, then I'll go for the 50 and I'll just be punting all day. But if I gotta like go for like one like back take and like ride this duck and then strangle it.
Bear in mind,
like the card.
Okay, I hear.
I got the card.
I hear. But also, bearing in mind, you got to watch out for that beak because they're quick, and I could really sort of stop you from getting. How are you gonna get past that to get to the back? We're gonna draw out the peck. Draw out the peck.
Little juke move. My football skills.
Yeah.
Juke it out.
Tell you what. If you bring some bread,
make it happen.
Bring some bread to the fight. Decoy.
Yeah. You go outsmart.
Hey, we're thinking outside the box now. No, class. Look, great questions coming through, guys. Thanks for sending them in. But yeah, it's a genuine question. If you don't know, Angus Jenkins always sends in those questions about.
Yeah, every fight we get in, he will always ask that question.
For some reason, he just wants to know. He just wants to know. One day, and it might even break the internet, but one day someone's going to ask Angus Jenkins that same question, and we're going to find out what his opinions are. I guess we would have to. All right.
Last little bit for you, and then you can jump away.
Yeah, cool.
Good.
Very final part. So that's the fan questions all over it. Thanks for sending them in, guys. Really appreciate you guys for the fan questions. And thanks, Matt, for answering them so honestly and candidly as well. Like, real appreciate that. We're about to sort of crop that up and sort of tell that a bit later. But it's the time of the show where we get into the quick fire round. Now, have you heard of it before, Matt? I mean, you've been on our channel before, haven't you? Like, we talked.
I can't remember what game we did. What game did we do last time?
Oh, we would have done some sort of game. It might have been Guess the Fighter. Do you remember what it was, Matt, last time you was on the channel?
I don't remember.
It might have been Guess the Fighter or Guess, yeah. And we did like a bit of we would have shown at that point different sort of act outs of the fighters and you would have had to guess it. So that might have been back later. But this time we're doing something called
just a quick fire round.
Yeah, against the clock. So the idea is we're going to ask you a number of questions quickly, and you have to answer them as quick as you can. And we're going to add your time up. Now, for everyone you get wrong, it adds 3 seconds to your time. But it's going to be a time that's going to be put against the leaderboard, and we're going to be having you. We'll release that later on to our socials and to our audience, and just showing basically how you rank against other fighters who've been on the channel as well. You ready?
All right, let's do it.
You ready?
Yeah.
All right. So, Ash, did you want to read out this quick fire round, or shall I?
No, you go for it, mate.
All right. So, I'm going to get the stopwatch ready on my phone. So that is set. And I'll stop it at the same time. But what I'm going to need you to do is be on your marks because I'm also going to play a stopwatch here on the screen. I'll do it at the same time.
Go on then. Do you want me to do my stopwatch or are you doing it?
I got it. Yeah, here we go.
You got it.
Got it here on the screen. Okay, ready? So, first question. What was your first job?
Construction.
Okay, cool. Captain America or Iron Man?
Captain America.
Decent. Game of Thrones or Lord of the Rings?
Lord of the Rings.
If you could be a Game of Thrones character, who would you be?
Jon Snow.
You know nothing, Jon Snow. Team Green or Team Black?
Team Black.
Interesting. Describe your fighting style in one word.
Brutal.
Wow. Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
Nice. Who trains harder than you in the gym?
Marab.
Wow. Football or basketball?
Football.
Sterling or Dillashaw?
I've already done well.
You say?
Sterling.
Sorry, I missed that. Favorite music genre?
Sci-fi.
Who's your MMA idol?
Chris Weidman.
Yo. Who's a fighter you'd hate to be stuck in a room with?
Ooh.
shit. Oh,
It's a tough one, isn't it? Yeah, it's a tough one.
Not easy.
we're on the right shit. Colby Covington.
Yeah.
Nice.
Fair. Now, act out your favorite dance move. Do you have one? Yeah, it is. Saturday night. Decent. Okay, that is that. Awesome. Thanks for that. that was quick.
Yeah.
That was quick. You blitzed through that one.
There you go.
So that was a bit. Sorry, say again.
Good talking to you guys.
Yeah, man. Look, it's been
thanks,
brilliant.
man.
I mean, you blitzed for that in about 1 minute and 50 seconds, which was awesome. Now, it wasn't any, of course, right or wrong questions. We didn't do the other one, but that did help us get to know you a little bit better. But you are a definitely Game of Thrones fan that we know.
I love Game of Thrones, but I loved Game of Thrones because I loved Lord of the Rings.
Did you watch? Did you watch it both at the same time?
When I was younger, I was watching Rings, like what would the movies come. Then I loved Game of Thrones too, but got to go with the OG,
Yeah.
Right. Did you watch Rings of Power?
I did. I watched Ring of Power.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. I wasn't as happy about it. It was tough that they were doing it at the same time of House of Dragons.
Yeah, it was tough.
Yeah,
that's true.
Right. I can't lie to you, man. What did you prefer? Rings of Power or the House of Dragons?
I liked House of Dragons way better than
No
the
way.
Ring of Power.
No way.
Yeah.
Did you know what?
What you like?
I did.
You like House of Dragons?
I did.
Good. Yeah. Hey. I mean, they were both good, but I liked the House of Dragons better.
For me, I felt it was just more money, better graphics in Rings of Power. But House of Dragons for me got addictingly good, like insanely good, all in that last episode. I got the last episode and I was like, right, it made up for all the slow episodes prior to. I just thought it was like an olden day Coronation Street or like soap opera because it's all about family incest and stuff. And I was like, when is the action happening? In that last episode, it made up for it. Like that. That sold a lot for me.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. All right, boys, be good. Maybe we'll talk
Matt.
fight.
Yes,
absolutely.
Talk to you after your win, yeah. But best of luck though. Anyway,
when I'll be in the hotel, like working out all week with Billy Q and my brother. Maybe we'll jump on one of these while I'm doing a workout or something.
That'd be cool. That's a great idea.
Right.
All the best, though, yeah.
Look,
all the best.
Peace.
Matt, you've been brilliant. Thanks so much, man. Peace out. And thank you all for chiming on in.
Thanks for your comments. I'm glad we got all through them again. Thank you all for your comments.
No, 100%.
Your camera's gone.
Yeah, I have gone. Matt's jumped on out. All right, guys. Well, look, thanks again for chiming on in. It's been brilliant. That was Matt Frevola. We've been enjoying meeting you all and seeing you all. Take care. Have a blessed week. And we'll be back next time with another Fighter Q&A. And this weekend with the next fight card coming up as well. So we're going to be covering the full fight of Rodriguez
versus Lemos.
As Chisora takes on the dog that is Lemos. So be there for that. And we'll see you soon.